Hi, and welcome to episode 3 of Bamboo Theory. As always, I'm your host, Toya, and today we are talking expectations. If you have not seen episodes 1 and 2, please be sure to go back and check those out so that you are all caught up. I'm actually on vacation right now, so I couldn't find a quiet spot to save my life. If you hear a helicopter like one coming right now, a lawnmower, birds, people, just ignore it. Stay here, okay? Stay here with your girl. But in episode 2, I mentioned that sometimes your expectations can get your feelings hurt. Okay, and I just wanted to revisit that and clarify a few things. It's not always just your expectations. Sometimes it's your lack of communicating your expectations. Sometimes it's a mismanagement, okay, that gets us in trouble. So, what are expectations to begin with? Your expectations are things that you think should or will happen. A lot of times we base them on our titles and relationships. So, if you're in a relationship, you're going to expect love, loyalty, respect because you're in a relationship, right? If you have a big brother, you're going to expect him to protect you because he's your big brother, right? Sometimes we also have a habit of equating what we give to what we expect. So if I'm always here for you, I expect you to always be here for me. If I always answer if I always answer the phone when you call, I expect you to always pick up when I call, right? In a perfect world, there would be nothing wrong with that. Everybody should reciprocate. I feel like everybody should be able to at least offer what it is that you give them, right? But this is not a perfect world, and in reality, everybody is just not the same. Okay, so the problem with that way of thinking is that it implies everybody is the same, and we're not. We are coming from different backgrounds, different families, different responsibilities, different lifestyles, different experiences. A lot of people have gone through things that they may never even speak on. Okay, but just because people don't speak on the things that they've been through, it doesn't mean that those experiences are not guiding their decision making. All right, a lot of people have gone through things that made them the way they are. I saw a meme. It says something about I'm trying to separate myself from the version of me that I created for survival. And that was so well put because that is what so many people are dealing with. So many people are struggling to be who they are, but they can't because they feel like they have to be this version of them that they created to get through something that they went through. I just finished reading this book called There's a lawnmower. I just finished reading this book called The Body Keeps the Score by Bessel van der Kolk. And it was a really good book. It was pretty intense. A lot of medical terminology reminded me of why I switched my major from nursing to criminal justice. But it was really intense. And there's a section in there, actually, throughout the whole book, he references how a lot of mental health issues of today actually started out as an attempt to cope with something that felt unbearable, some emotions that were just, over the roof, or something that someone was experiencing that they felt they couldn't get through if they didn't become a certain way. Okay, a lot of people are dealing with that. A lot of people are being this version of them that they had to create to get through something that was really, really hard. Why is this important when it comes to expectations? I'm not saying this to say you should excuse the behavior of other people. I'm not saying this to say be a doormat because people went through things, because we all go through things. We all have some things that we wish we did not have to experience, unfortunately, right? So I'm not saying excuse it, but I am saying this to say to have grace and to be more understanding when it comes to why your expectations are not being met, right? And you can always adjust what it is that you expect from certain people in the first place. All right. I personally have learned to only expect what people show me. And I like, look, if you have not shown me that you are capable of, or not even capable, sometimes it's being willing to do certain things. If you haven't shown me that you are even willing to do certain things that are in your grasp, I'm not going to expect that from you. I feel like it's insane, and it's like setting yourself up when you expect something from someone that they've never given you. Even if you see them giving that to other people, if they've never shown that they are willing to do that for you, it is absolutely insane to expect that from that person, because you're asking them to do something that they obviously don't want to do, sometimes that they're not even capable of doing. Okay, so I think before you even address the issue of your expectations not being met, because sometimes it is a conversation that needs to be had, but before you even do that, you need to check in with yourself and determine if you've even made your expectations clear. Have you ever even said what it is that you want or that you need from certain people? Because a lot of times we expect things that we've never even spoken on. We feel like because, again, we are related or in a relationship or whatever the connection is, we feel like that is the ground for you knowing what it is that I expect, even if I've never even said it. Okay, so we have to get in the habit of communicating what it is that we want, because if you do not communicate your expectations, then they are simply thoughts and feelings. I can't read your mind. I can't read what it is that you feel. So if you don't say it, I don't know. All right, so stop assuming that people are mind readers and they know because they know you. No. First of all, a lot of people got their own things going on. Not to say that they're not paying attention, but it's just really easy to get caught up in your own world and miss some details, miss some of the little things that make you who you are. Okay, so don't assume that people know if you have not spoken on it. Speak up, say what it is that you need, and then go from there. And while we're on the topic, if you're on the receiving end of someone else's expectations, it's also okay to speak up if you feel like their expectations are borderline entitlement. We need to talk about that, because a lot of people have the ability to hide their responsibility and the expectations of someone else. So what you're supposed to be handling, you feel like, oh, because you're my friend, you're supposed to do that. Oh, because you're my mother, you're supposed to do that. Oh, because you're my brother, you're supposed to do that. No. It's okay to speak up if somebody is trying to hide their responsibility and their expectation or connection to you. Okay? I actually have I have a few rules when it comes to expectations myself. For one, I do not expect things from everybody. Okay, I can't even talk to everybody about everything. I know who to talk to about what, who to talk to about money, who to talk to about expectations, who to talk to about relationships and investments, whatever it is. You know who you can talk to about what. So be realistic, okay? And understand that sometimes you cannot expect certain things from certain people, even if you've been there for them. If they are not showing you or trying or doing anything to let you know that this is what they're willing to do, you have to accept that for what it is, okay? When it comes to expectations, we feel like I mentioned earlier, sometimes we equate what we do with what we expect. A lot of times we think that because we do something for someone else, that should automatically tell them what it is that we want. And that's just not the case. Like I said, we are coming from different experiences. So you have people who cannot read the situation well. We have some people who look at a situation and they think, okay, this is good for me right now. I need to take what I can get while I can get it, and then that's it. They're not thinking about returning the energy because they're so used to having to survive that that's all they know how to do, even if it means using you. Okay? So when it comes to expectation, like I said, speak up. Do not automatically assume that because you do something for someone else, it means they should know that that's what you want in return. All right. Honestly, I think that when it comes to our actions, what we do communicates what it is that we are willing to do. That's just my opinion on that. What you do communicates. So if you are always there for someone, it communicates to that person that you're always willing to be there. If you're always giving money to somebody, that communicates that you are always willing to give money to that person. That doesn't say, hey, I need this. That says that you are willing to do it. The only thing that honestly says out loud that this is what you need is you verbally saying this is what you need. So don't be afraid to speak up, okay? Like I said, I have a few rules when it comes to expectations, and the first one being that I do not expect everything from everybody. Okay, I know who I can expect certain things from. I know who I can call on and who I cannot. All right. Second, when I feel like my expectations are not being met, I speak up. There's nothing wrong with speaking up whenever you feel the need to. There's a way to do it. I'm not saying be disrespectful and curse everybody out, but it is perfectly fine to speak up when you feel like you need to say something. When you feel like your expectations are not being met and you're settling, whether it be in friendships or relationships. Okay? My friend, I was talking to my friend about this recently, and she's like, well, Toya, how do you say you're not meeting my expectations as a friend? And I'm like, that's a good question. I will probably just start it off with saying, hey, you know, I love this about you. This is what I love about you. Okay? This is what I feel like you do for me as a friend. Do you feel like it's anything that I'm not doing for you as a friend? Okay? And then go from there and say, hey, you know, I wish that I could talk to you about this, or I wish that this could be a thing with us. I want to take our friendship to another level, or I want to be able to get this from our friendship. And two things happen when you communicate. All right, two things happen when you verbally, like, really have a conversation about what it is that you expect. For one, no one can say that they didn't know what it is that you wanted because you said it. Okay. And two, And this one is the reason a lot of people do not speak on their expectations. When you speak up and say what it is that you want, you give the person on the receiving end a chance to determine if that's something that they want to do in the first place. A lot of times your expectations are not being met because you're expecting something from someone who doesn't want to do it to begin with. Okay, but we trick ourselves into believing that if we do this for them, they'll give it back to us, and that's not always the case. So the one surefire way to know that they know what it is that you expect is to say it. And when you do say it, you give them the opportunity to say, that's not what I'm looking for right now, or that's not what I want to do, or that's too much, I can't do that. Hey, I just wanted to thank you again for stopping by and to remind you that you can like and subscribe on YouTube at Bamboo Theory. You can also follow me for more on Instagram at bamboo_theory. That's BAMBU_THEORY. Feel free to let me know what you guys think. I'm always open to any suggestions. Let me know if there's anything you want me to talk about. I'm here for it. Thank you so much, and I can't wait to see you guys again next week. Bye.